Hi, everybody. It's me again. Excuse the, usually it's back. I push it forward because I had some work done, and there's some workers being worked on a few things during in the house. But that's something else. you know, Between yesterday's Chainsaw Man and now Mob, I think someone's out to get me with shocking moments. Okay, so last week, as we saw, last week, we know that Mob was on his way. He was on his way to see Subumi. He saved the cat from being run over by a car. He was not in time to save a kid from being run over the car that was coming real fast. So instead, he pushed the kid out of the way. He got hit by the car and knocked out unconscious. What this resulted in, I listen. When I first saw the preview, I thought, okay, it's Bob. See this shirt? See how it looks here? Yeah. In this episode, he looked a million times worse. He literally is walking through the town causing known destruction by walking. He literally is pulling a Godzilla or a King Kong. I'm not going to say Godzilla. That's what I'm going to say. Every step he takes is an earthquake. I would probably say 8 on the Richter scale, 9? I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm not. But it's immense. Most of the episode is everyone reacting to this, and they don't know what it is. And you just hear this policeman. Pure insanity. Now, surprisingly enough, next week's episode, Risu gets involved. So, Risu seems to know what this is. This is something that is in like the subconscious mind of Mom. But let's get back to this episode. He literally just when he gets hit by that car and he's bloody on the ground, causes a shockwave. We don't see him yet. Eventually, you do see him. Black and red aura around him. Eyes completely white. No, he doesn't talk at all. Just walking with those bouquet of flowers in his hand. So, and he's walking, and he's causing all this destruction as he's walking. Eventually, I forget the guy's name, Hayayama. Can't say his name for life. Confronts him and fights him. So one-sided. It is so one-sided. Mob completely destroys him. But he's able to save the people that, because he's fighting. Immense amount of destruction. But here's the unbelievable kicker for me. Now, eventually, Reagan finds out, and he's shocked. Mob. We see Subumi. She's waiting for him. She's waiting for him. She's still waiting. She's waiting for him to show up. So, chances are, see, the thing that eludes from me is that He gets hit by a car, and all of a sudden, this thing that's inside of him awakens. That's the thing that shocks me. But after his little tussle with Hayama that was so one-sided, he confronts the former members of the Claw, which I find so ironic that we're basically doing a 180. We're going back to season 2. We're going back to season 2. Back to season 2, back when Mob was fighting the Claw. Fighting the guy with the, the ropey lanes, and then the guy with the sword. I forgot the names. I apologize. And you don't see the fight. No, he destroys them. But then, this is the even bigger kicker. I guess the government, they send in espers. Criminal espers. Guess who's on the plane? Boss of the Claw. The boss of the Claw organization. And that guy who's with the glasses, he's piloting the plane, and he jumps out. And that's the episode. It's so surreal because when this season started, I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't really. I was like, okay, we had a few side adventures. Then we start going on the Divine Tree thing. And it was Dimple. And I thought, this is kind of weird. We're starting this now. We're starting this Divine Tree thing, which results in Mob taking care of Dimple, saves him, but we know what happened to Dimple. And now this. It's like, you can tell from last week's episode, as he was getting ready for his confession to Tsubomi, his meter kept going up. Now, I wasn't like at 80 or 90. It was like 30 or something like that. So I'm thinking, okay, there's no worry. He gets up in the car. Most likely, I think what happened was this. Getting hit by that car knocked him out. And when he got knocked out, this other thing that's inside of him took over. Basically, he went primal. That's what I think. Mom. He went primal, and his powers took over. But it's so, when you look at that, and you see the boss of the Claw organization coming back into play. It's funny, because it was Mob last season that stopped him. Now he's going to try to stop Mob. It's very surreal. This was 10 out of 10, no doubt. But it just was so... This is the second episode in a row that I am flabbergasted over. And I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Okay. Mob's at 100%. And he's totally... But as I said earlier in the review, the preview for next week... Now, this one was called Mob 2 Rival, which is the rival 2 with Hayama. Kawa. Next week's called Mob 3 Trauma. Now, I think the reason why someone like Mob having these powers is really dangerous. Because any trauma he has that comes back to fruition, is something like this is going to happen. So it's very, it's really surreal. Now, next week is episode 11, I believe. Yeah, I believe it's episode 11. Now, or 10, I'm not really sure. Is it 10? Anyway, I'll get the correct, But for next week, I got to imagine Risu knows what this is. This personality. He knows what it is. So he's going to confront him. Now, we see Tsubomi. She sees like a tornado, which is basically Mob, in the background. So we'll see how things go. This is some pretty crazy shit, to say the least. This is pretty crazy. That's up there on the crazy totem pole. But it's surreal. It really is. And I can only imagine how this is going to conclude. Now, and what was even more insane, when he's fighting Hayami Hayakawa, you see Mob inside of himself. And he's thinking to himself, he can't stop. He can't control his own body. Unbelievable. This was not a definite 10 out of 10. We're reaching the climax of this, whatever this is. And I'm just like, between Chainsaw Man and Mob, I mean, Bleach was good. And we saw what was going on with that. And that's going to conclude next week. I believe it was 10. Next week's is 10. But I'm lost for words. Bankai 922. Mob is, I don't know. He's in the stratosphere. See you guys later. Peace out.